B's Podcast, Episode 7. My name is Sarah. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Mrs. B the Knitter. And there's also a Mrs. B's Podcast Ravelry group, so please do come over and say hello. It would be lovely to meet you. This is my little co-host, Hattie. She's joining us again today. So if you're a new viewer, thank you so much for coming by. I hope you enjoy it. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. It really means a lot, so thank you very much. Okay, so stuff this week. It's been a mad couple of weeks. I don't know what's happened. Life's gone a little bit crazy. So it was my birthday about 12 days ago. And that was interesting. We were supposed to go away to Cornwall for the Easter weekend to see our families, and we didn't manage to because unfortunately Simon got ill. The flu bug made a reappearance in our household. Luckily I got it for maybe a day and a bit, very mildly, but I was able to get over it very quickly. Unfortunately for him, his Easter holiday was a bit pants and he was feeling quite sorry for himself. So we didn't manage to get down to Cornwall, but I had a lovely day anyway, and I took myself out to the local town and did some shopping and bought some cake and had a coffee, so that was lovely. So yeah. So I also started a new job, and for those of you who may be interested, my job is senior veterinary nurse and clinical coach at a local veterinary practice, which means that senior vet nurse, hopefully I know what I'm talking about, and clinical coach, I help the student nurses with their diploma work for gaining their qualifications. It's been going really well so far, really enjoy it. The team's absolutely lovely, really nice team. Did have a bit of a baptism of fire for day one, so walked into this new job and it was just crazy. They were having one of their crazy days, which doesn't happen particularly often, but it was certainly a day that when I got home I poured myself a large gin and tonic, kind of sat down and said, what have I done? Why did I think this was a good idea? But I really enjoyed it. It was really good. It's kind of made me realise that I do know what I'm talking about, I still have the skills, and that I really enjoy it. It's a great job, and if anyone would like to know anything else about it, please do feel free to ask me questions. I don't mind. It's something that I love, it's something that I enjoy, and luckily it's something that I love and enjoy that people pay me for, so yay! Okay, so on to knitting. There hasn't been quite as much going on in this past couple of weeks, adjusting to a new work schedule, getting things kind of organised, finding when I have free time, so there hasn't been quite as much going on. There are a couple of unplanned finished objects again. Somehow the things that I wanted that I'd started already and was supposed to be getting finished haven't been finished, but I started completely brand new things and finished them instead. So I don't know, procrastinating, again, procrastinating. And for those of you who watch regularly, yes, I don't normally wear glasses. These are my reading and computer glasses. I've been a little bit tired the past couple of weeks. Been sleeping really well, but my eyes are just a little bit tired, staying a little bit sore, so I decided to pop them on. But now I don't usually wear them, and I probably won't be wearing them very often, but they are there. So, finished objects. Ta-da! More house slippers. So these guys are the first ever. Do you want to have a sniff, Hats? Do they smell yummy? No, you just want treats, don't you? These are knit out of my second ever hand spun on my trusty wheel. This is Whiteface Woodland and Black Welsh Mountain plied together in a 2-ply. They're quite coarse. I knit them on quite small needles. I followed the instructions completely to the letter this time. The other 2 times I've made this pattern, simple house slippers, I have adjusted the pattern slightly, but these ones I followed absolutely to the letter. There's lots of variation in it. You can see here there are some more kind of chunky bits where, especially the Whiteface Woodland, nice and chunky. If you look down here, there's thinner bits where it was more kind of fingering weight. They are 2 slightly different sizes because of the variation in the yarn. So the one behind is, you can see, ever so slightly bigger, but like most people, I have one foot that is slightly bigger than the other, so that's fine. I may just label them left and right, but they're really comfy. They're great as slippers because they've got that little bit of kind of coarseness. They haven't had a bath yet. They may just get a bath. I want to see what will happen to them, but I don't think I'll block them because they're just the right size, so I may just soak them and then let them dry. The other finished object that I never meant to do is the Hilltop Shawl by Helen Stewart, who is Curious Handmade. And this, I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see, is knit in the Blacker Yarns Cornish Tin 10th anniversary yarn, 4-ply, and it's knit in the 11th grey and the Dolecroft turquoise. And it's supposed to be grey, turquoise, ending all on grey. The grey was getting rather low in yardage and I didn't fancy playing yarn chicken, so I added in a couple of turquoise stripes and then bound off in the picot edging in turquoise. It's come out really lovely. It has been partially blocked, but as you can see here, got these two little dimples. This is where it was hung to dry on a coat hanger because it's too big for my blocking mats. So I either need to get new blocking mats, or I need to get, and I also need to get some blocking wires because I do not have enough pins to pin out all these beautiful picot edging bits. And when it was blocking, I noticed along one of the sides, I'm not sure I'm even going to be able to find it now, I had dropped a stitch. I almost started crying. I had dropped a stitch and I only noticed it when I was blocking it out. So I just went back and fixed it with a crochet hook and sewing needle with some spare thread, spare yarn, and didn't cry. Just about managed not to cry. Lovely pattern. I knit this up in about 6 days.
50% complete. 7 minutes 27 seconds left.
Got my timer on. I'm using a new camera. Well, not a new camera, it's my old camera, but it's an SLR and it only films for 15 minutes, so I set my stopwatch and it's just told me I only have 50% left, so only 7 minutes left. So yeah, this was lovely. It's a lovely pattern, really easy to memorise. These lace bits, really easy to memorise. This was excellent TV knitting, but interesting enough that you kept going. I really like the edges. I really like the two different colours. That kept it interesting for me as well. And yeah, so new fluffy bouncy shawl, and it's a little bit, the yarn is a little bit coarser than I would generally wear. It's I have that kind of thing where I'm really kind of sensitive to the different yarns, but I still love it. I'm not giving it away. I'm going to keep it. It is mine. I love it. So yeah, that was really nice. The other sort of finished object, half finished object, is this beautiful bobbin of spinning. This is some yarn from Owl About Yarn on Etsy. She also has a podcast. Her name is Jenny. And I have that's 50 grams of 100 gram braid, which has been living in my little chicken bag. And this beautiful braid. Oh, look at all these colours. I know it's all meshed up, but look at all these beautiful colours. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's got this kind of natural brown running through it. It is Polwarth and Merino Dahl. And Merino Dahl are the, I'm probably not pronouncing that right, are the kind of the brownie coloured ones. And they give this lovely colour. Really like that, and it's spinning up beautifully, and every spin I do is just it's getting easier and easier to be consistent and to get the thickness of yarn that I want. So, those are my 2 finished objects. First ever knit object from Homespun yarn, so yay! Finally using my Cornish tin yarn, and really it was the perfect project for this yarn, so very happy with that. And a bobbin of spinning, just waiting for me to spin up the other bobbin and get it started.
70% complete. 4 minutes 27 seconds left.
Okay, works in progress. I have 3 works in progress at the minute that I want to show you. Number 1 is living in my bunny bag, which is by Knit and Stitch Bits, so Katie, over in Tasmania. And this comes to work with me every day, so that if I can get a chance to do some knitting at lunch breaks, then I do. I only have a half-hour lunch break, so generally I don't get an awful lot done. And in it are my 9 to 5 socks, which are being knit up out of Felt Fusion's Supernova colourway in her merino nylon sock base. Whee! Go back in there. And I've knit the heel out of one of the Rainbow Mini Skeins from her Rainbow Mini Skeins box from last month, and that again is on her merino nylon sock base. I decided to try an afterthought heel for the first time ever. I've used the thumb joint top hat heel from Sock Architecture by Lara Neal, and I'm pretty darn pleased with it. I have a little hole on one side which I'm going to have to fix, little hole there, but I'm really pleased with it, with how it's come up, and I love this rainbow heel. I just think it's so funky. I'll be interested to see how it fits. I did 1x1 twisted rib for the cuff, as recommended by Katie from Inside Number 23 podcast. And I was knitting these on my Higher Sharps 9-inch circulars, and I will do that again for the cuff for the other one, and possibly for the body as well. When I got to the heel, I actually bought myself for my birthday a little set of, when I can get them out, Knit Pro Zings. I wanted to try them out. One of my local yarn stores now carries the Knit Pro Zing double points. They don't carry the Knit Pro Zing circular, so I ordered one from Meadow Yarn, and I transferred onto the Magic Loop method. I just found it's a little easier on my hands. The way I knit, it's a little easier on my hands. The only thing I would say, I love the tips. There is absolutely no join between the tip and the shaft. It's flawless, absolutely flawless. However, the join between the cable and the actual needle itself, not my favourite. I love the way they're knitting, but this bit is not my favourite at all. So I'm about 3/4 done with sock number 1. I'm going to do the toe in the same rainbow yarn. I don't know whether or not I'm going to do a rounded toe so it kind of matches the heel, or whether or not I'm going to do my regular wide toe. I haven't decided yet. I'll decide when I get to the toe. But I really enjoy these. These are going to be my some work socks, hence why they're called 9 to 5 socks. These are going to be socks for work. I've just noticed, I'm not entirely sure what I've done there. I've somehow slipped a stitch and then picked it back up again. I'm not entirely sure what I've done there, but I have just found, anyone can tell me. I think I dropped a stitch and then managed to pick it back up again. I'm not entirely sure what I've done there, but there's a nice hole. But these are for work. I wanted a pair of socks that were going to be comfortable, that were going to be easily washable. I wear Crocs at work. Crocs are great for the work that I do. It means if I get anything horrible on them, I can literally just put them in the sink and then just dry them. I can put them through the autoclave, which is our steriliser for surgical instruments and things like that. So if I've washed them off, I can just stick them through the autoclave. And I wanted socks that weren't going to be, you know, really kind of pastel-y colours that if they got anything on them, it was going to show up really badly. But I wanted fun socks. And generally my socks stay pretty clean at work. There's not many things that manage to get from the outside onto my socks because my feet are well protected in my Crocs. But I just thought this would make great work socks. And I still, that little, what have I done? I'm not sure I've actually done anything, but some things happen there. That's not a normal stitch. Don't know. I'll work it out. I'll go and have a little look. Still learning. Another work in progress in this lovely project bag that my mum made for me is my little baby vertebrae that I am making for a friend's baby due later this year. This is in Felt Fusion's Truffler colourway on the single ply merino fingering weight base. My cake is coming slightly undone these days. But I'm making good progress. So I finished the body, and I actually went a little bit longer than the pattern calls for on the body. I didn't do it deliberately. I mismeasured and then just got carried away TV knitting. So it's an extra 2 centimetres longer than it really needs to be. But I'm sure the baby won't mind. It's going to keep their bum nice and warm. Sleeve 1 is underway. And then we've just got sleeve 2 to do, and then it's just picking up the stitches along the edge and along the neckline and adding the ribbing. I'm knitting these on my Hires interchangeables, and I am using the 3.25 and the 2.75. So I'm doing the edging in 2.75 and the rest of it in the 3.25. And that, I'm still in love with this wool. I still absolutely love it. I love the colourway. I love the feel of it. It's so soft, squishy. And I think this is going to make a lovely, lovely baby cardigan. At some point it will get finished. It's a good job baby's not arriving until September. I've got time to finish it. And then my last work in progress is I'm double dipping between 2 Harry Potter cowls, inside number 23 and the Knitting Broomsticks, Vegan Jilly on Ravelry and Miss Lavelli on Ravelry. And I am knitting the Love of Spiders shawl. I'm knitting it in honour of Hagrid and Aragog. I'm knitting it in Felt Fusion colourways. Shot Through the Heart, which is this one. There's my row counter. Shot Through the Heart and Deep Space, both of which are on the merino, nylon and stellina base. And they go really nicely together. This is how far I've got so far. I'm going to show you the middle. It is already, it's over 300 stitches already. It's going to be massive. I'm only on repeat 4, I believe. Let me check my counter. I'm just about to start repeat 4 of this section. This has 9 repeats in it, so if that's 3 repeats, can you imagine? You know, it's going to be massive. I have, if you notice, this lovely pattern which has slip stitches in it. I have some stitches to go back and drop and rearrange. So what I've managed to do is I've managed to cross 2 stitches. So I should have knit the regular stitch then slipped, and what I've done is I've accidentally knit the slip stitch and then slipped the regular. So I need to just go back, uncross those, pick those stitches back up there. I've taken pictures so I know what it should look like. I've taken pictures of the adjacent stitches. And I love this pattern. I really, 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 really want to finish this because I really want to wear this shawl. This is lovely, and it's such a nice drapey fabric. You do have the option to only do 8 repeats in this section, and I think I will probably end up doing that because my deep space, my black colour, is just getting a little bit low, and I don't want to play yarn chicken. I don't like playing yarn chicken. I generally lose when I play chicken with my yarn. So I think I may do one less repeat, and then I know I've got enough for the border. But this is lovely, absolutely lovely. And as I said, I am double dipping into the Knitting Broomsticks Harry Potter cowl, which is running throughout April, and the Inside Number 23 Harry Potter cowl, which started in March and finishes at the end of April. Hi Hats, you back? As I said, it was my birthday about 12 days ago. My maths is absolutely awful. It was my birthday the Saturday between Good Friday and Easter Sunday, and as I said, we were supposed to go down to Cornwall and see our families. We weren't able to do that, and it meant that my birthday presents arrived a little bit late. They got sent up from Cornwall, but my family were really, really, really kind to me, and I love that they truly understand my complete and utter yarny obsession. My husband bought me a Tunisian crochet interchangeable kit from Knit Pro. I don't have it here to show you because I completely forgot to get it out. It's also, there are several bits of it in use, so that's what he got me. It's great, fantastic. I love that he has completely embraced the fact that he is now a yarn widower, and that our living room basically has two corners that have been completely taken over by my obsession. So yeah, he bought me that for my birthday, and that was great. He's rather wonderful. My mum, my amazing mum, made me a big Daisy Project bag to match my little Daisy Project bag. She said she couldn't find a larger zip, so she apologised for the small zip. I don't mind. It's brilliant. It can still fit everything that it needs to fit in there. And I love that it's so happy and bright. And as she did before, I've got a daisy on that side and a daisy button on that side, just as I've got a daisy button on the end of the small ones as well. So I now have a lovely set of my two daisy bags and my my daisy needle case. So Mum, brownie points, woohoo, good job, thank you very much. She also bought me a yarn box. Which is this lovely one, and this is a Narnia themed yarn box, the Lion, the Witch and Wardrobe themed yarn box from Rosie's Moments on Etsy. It came with a pattern for a Narnia shawl. Hattie is desperate to get into this box. It also came with a little bath melt. It came with some chocolate. The chocolate has been eaten. It got eaten on my birthday. Hats, okay, Hats, look, just have a sniff. Have a sniff. No dog treats. She's just got to check there's no dog treats. But it came with a lovely little bath melt, which just smells lovely. It's not a treat. You won't like it if you eat it, I promise. A lovely little wooden coaster, inspired by Mr. Tumnus. If you haven't read The Lion, the Witch and Wardrobe, please do. It's a lovely, lovely book. Little stitch marker that has a lion on it, obviously representing Aslan. A little stitch marker which is a snowflake, representing the White Witch. And check this out! Isn't this gorgeous? White, sparkly, and look at these colours. Ooh, yum, yum, yum. This is called Aslan and the White Witch. It's 100 grams, 365 metres, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon high twist, and it's got the stellina running through it as well, so I think it may well be 15% nylon and 5% stellina. Absolutely gorgeous. Love the colours. I haven't decided yet whether or not I will turn this into the shawl that there was the pattern for. going to see if I can show you the picture of the shawl. It comes out all printed for you. I don't know yet. I haven't properly looked at the pattern yet. It may well become something else, but it's so pretty. So pretty. My mum is great. She buys me cool stuff. She makes me cool stuff. I mean, I just love the fact that she made me a project bag for my birthday. How cool is that? My in-laws as well get kudos and brownie points for their purchases and for sending me wonderful stuff for my birthday. Thoroughly spoiled this year. I got a Lush bath bomb called Golden Egg. It's got gold sparkles all over it already. Simon is already, I think, lamenting the cleanliness of the bath because the bath is going to be covered in gold sparkles for weeks after I use this. No matter how hard we scrub, the glitter just sticks, but it's worth it. Oh, and it smells so yummy. Does it smell yummy, Hat? No, it doesn't smell like chicken, therefore it doesn't smell yummy. But that smells really good. They were also kind enough to get me a little sock bag from shop Luli on Etsy, and I have been eyeing up her bags for ages, and they bought me the sheep one. It's so cute. So I think this is going to be another Socks in the Wild bag. So just like my bunny bag, I think this is going to have to be socks that get knit at work bag, or get taken out and about and knitted out and about. As I said, I was thoroughly spoiled. My little sock bag was from my sister-in-law and her boyfriend. They also bought me Knitlandia by Clara Parks. Yay! I've already read chapter 1, I've read the preface in chapter 1. It's awesome. Oh my god, just love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Well done, Helena, thank you very much. My parents-in-law bought me my first ever sock blank. First ever sock blank. This is Dotty About Spotty. It is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, approximately 425 metres, from Suffolk Socks. Came with a little Easter chick and egg and a little scented candle, which is really yummy. And it's just so gorgeous. First ever sock blank. Yay! They also bought me a project bag. And this project bag is from Quince Pie on Etsy. And it is not only a project bag, it is a sock sack. So it's split in two. It has a little pouch in the middle. And it means you can do 2 at a time socks and keep your yarn separate. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. And that it's got a little zippered pouch in the middle for keeping your notions in, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And again, sheep themed, they know me so well. If it's got animals on it, it's all good. And so yeah, that is really funky. Yay! I was so spoiled. I was so spoiled this year. I don't know what I've done this year to deserve it, but oh, lovely. So very kind of them. My mother-in-law also sent us Easter Scrummy Yummies, which she had made herself. So she makes her own chocolate caramel kind of truffly type things, and they were absolutely delicious. My husband also got a packet of those. Yeah, very yummy. So that was some good post coming through for my birthday. Very pleased and very grateful to my family for being so lovely to me. I ordered myself something. I showed it to you a little while back. My birthday box from Korutumi, which has been sitting on my sofa arm waiting to be opened for a whole month, almost a whole month. I finally opened it. Eek! One of the things in there is a little calendula balm, which, doing the job that I do, I wash my hands a lot. I also get scratched. I've got a lovely scratch on the back of my hand currently, courtesy of one of the cats that has been in recently. And whilst we do our best to keep them all calm and relaxed, we end up getting injured. So we generally get quite dry skin working in veterinary practice because we scrub our hands a lot. We will get the odd occasional scratch from our animal clients. It happens. Also, I am very good at the moment of walking into things. So I've walked into several things. So calendula balm has been coming in very useful, just softening up some of the drier bits of my skin, but also helping heal up some of those scratches. Also in there was the little stitch holder, which is currently marking the spot on the Lovers Spider shawl where I have to go back and drop stitches and pick them up. It's a lovely, really lightweight stitch holder / progress marker in the shape of a daffodil, beautifully made. And the other bits and bobs that came in the box, a little wheat chocolate that hasn't been eaten yet. You know, that is some self-control, hasn't been eaten yet. A lovely polymer crochet hook, and just beautiful, beautiful imprints of flowers on there. It's a 3.5mm size. Some lovely confetti, which if I tip the box is just going to go everywhere. Little happy birthday paper chain garland to make. There's a pattern in there for making crocheted daffodils, and she has very kindly, with Devon Sun yarn, provided crinkle crinkle. Love that. The yarn for making the daffodils. I think there's enough to make 3, and then she has also provided stalks for them. So at some point I will make them up. Really soft yarn, very, very nice. Crinkle, crinkle. Every time I hear that crinkle, I think there should be sweeties inside. And then these are obviously for the middle of the flower. So everything you need to crochet yourself some birthday daffodils for those of us that were born in March. Obviously the 1st of March is St David's Day, the patron saint of Wales, and the Wales daffodils. And I went to university in Wales. I love daffodils. I think they're great. They're very sunny, happy flowers, just like daisies. Nice, happy flowers that generally mean spring is here, winter is over, everyone celebrates. So much crinkling, I'm so sorry. And I also bought myself another felt fusion box. Shadow, just stop being so good at your job, please. My budget would appreciate it if you could stop being quite so good at your job. So this month's box was music themed, and it all came wrapped in this beautiful, really soft musical note scarf. And inside, ta-da! So the aim of this kind of box was you sent her a link to a YouTube video or a link to a video of a song that you liked or a music video that you liked, and she would dye up yarn to represent that video, so her interpretation. I sent her 2 videos of the same song. So I sent her 2 videos of McFly, Love Is on the Radio, and one of them was the McFly video, the official video, and the other was Tom Fletcher, who is one of the band members of McFly, singing the song with his wife Giovanna Fletcher. And it's just so cute, it's just so lovely. It's a really sweet video. So 2 completely different videos. She's dyed me up 2 yarns. This is the McFly one, I believe. It's got more kind of blues through it, and their video has quite a lot of blues through it. And then this is the one, I believe, for Tom and Giovanna singing it. They filmed it in their little kind of study, lots of books on the wall with twinkly fairy lights and quite kind of dim lighting, and Tom has a pink ukulele. So very cool yarn, lovely and soft, fingering weight. So this one is High Twist Superwash Merino Nylon mix. This one is Superwash Merino, Nylon and Sparkle. But also included not only this lovely musical scarf, some magnetic musical pegs. Very useful shadow. The rainbow ones from the rainbow box are currently on my fridge holding up all the notes that I desperately need my husband to see, and if I don't put them somewhere completely obvious, he'll miss them. So they're already on the fridge being very useful. These are going to join. There is also, and some of you will remember these and some of you won't, those of you who are younger than me probably won't remember these, Melody Pops. The lollipops that you blow through and they make whistle noises. I didn't get lollipops very often as a child. I preferred penny sweets when penny sweets were actually a penny, and I used to have 25p a week pocket money. If I'd been good. If I hadn't been good, my pocket money would diminish over the week. But generally I had between 20 and 25p pocket money, and I would generally buy penny sweets, but occasionally I would splash out on a lollipop, and these were one of my favourite kinds. So the ones that make music as you eat them. Yeah, very fun. Also, little chocolate guitar. Again, not eaten. Don't know what is going on here, but it has survived for a whole week. Don't know. No, I'm not ill. I must be learning willpower. And there's also 2 musical themed pencils in there, which are fantastic. We use pencils a lot in our house. My husband is always scribbling things down, but I also use them a lot at work. They're very useful for writing on microscope slides. They don't rub off like pen does. So thank you very much, Shadow. Wonderful little box. And I'm going to fold that all up. Pop that down. I also treated myself to a few other things. As I said, for my birthday, my husband was poorly. He couldn't come out with me, so I took myself off to our local town, went to my local yarn store, went to one of my favourite cafes, got some cake, had something to drink, and when I went to my local yarn store, I discovered the owner has started dyeing her own yarn. It's called TBH, which stands for the Boutique Haberdashery, which is in Fareham. It's 20% merino superwash, 20% nylon, 100 grams, approximately 500 metres. Fabulous. I loved this colour. So she's been dyeing tonals. There are a couple of variegated, but at the moment her mum was there. Her mum works in the shop, and her mum was saying, you know, she's just experimenting at the minute. No 2 skeins were alike. You know, going through she had about 10 or 12 skeins available, going kind of through them. No 2 skeins were alike, similar but definitely not the same. I absolutely loved this colour, kind of coppery red, and it smells amazing. I could just little yarny moustache that smells amazing. Smells amazing. She's apparently dyeing them with food dye. I don't know. I'm not sure I've used a yarn that's been dyed with food dye before, but I think this is going to become a shawl. I think this is going to become a, and again I'm going to pronounce it wrong, a verdure shawl by Isabel of Fluffy Fibres. And for all of the notes, people have said, yep, you can do it in 400 metres, but it can run a little bit tight. So if you've got some spare yarn, you know, go with that. Maybe buy 2 skeins. You might end up going into that second skein. If this is approximately 500 metres, should be fine. And I think the colour's really pretty. So that was my birthday present to myself on my birthday, along with my Knit Prosing double pointed needles. I have also bought some more yarn. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? This is Doctor Who themed yarn from Fab Funky Fibres, and I saw someone knitting with this on Instagram. Absolutely loved it. wrote to her and said, do you have any of this still available? And she said, actually, yes, I do, and I've just kind of finished it. It's all skeined up. Would you like some? Yes, please. So this is 75% merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 425 metres, and it knits up to the pattern of the Doctor Who scarf from season 12, and that is Tom Baker's scarf, which has gone through many different slight variations if you watch through the series, but this could not resist. We're big Doctor Who fans in our house. We watch Doctor Who a lot. Simon's watched pretty much all the Doctor Who's. I came to it a lot more recently, so for me my favourite Doctor Who is Matt Smith. Love, love, love. Simon's got, well, he likes, I think, all the Doctors. Peter Capaldi, I think it is his favourite in a way. I think he felt the scripts had let him down, but we're big Doctor Who fans, so Doctor Who socks, yay! And they will be for me. They were going to be a gift. They're not going to be a gift anymore. They're going to be for me, and I don't feel bad about that at all. And I also bought Pure Wool by Sue Blacker. I love Blacker yarns, and this ties in to a knit along, which I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about in a moment. But I thought I'd share with you, just at the end, my knitting journal. Quite a few people have said that they keep them, and everyone seems to have a different way of doing it. I keep my Ravelry project pages up to date, but I'm really tactile. I like to feel things. I like to have good visual reminders of things, and sometimes when we take pictures the yarns don't come out the colour that they actually are. So what I've been doing is just keeping a track of the yarns that I've been using, sticking in the care labels, just having samples of them so that I can feel them, I can see the colours properly, I know exactly what I was doing. I've got a little swatch. I did a swatch. I actually did a swatch for something. It's something that is currently hibernating, sitting away, not being knit on, but I did a swatch. So I stuck my swatch in there. I have one more finished object, which I cannot show you because they're at their new home. The Mermaid Princess socks, out of this beautiful Blink colourway by Truly Hooked on Etsy. Got finished, got blocked. I popped pictures of them up on Instagram, got sent to my best friend, and they fit. My guesstimation on her fit size worked. They fit. She likes them. Yay, they found their new home. So that was kind of, yeah, that was good. That is a finished object, but I can't show you. But just things like these. This is my Simple House Slippers page. So I've got all the different yarns that I've used, including a little sample of my hand spun and my Hilltop shawl. So I'm just trying to keep it up to date with little samples, just so that I can feel the yarn, I can see the colours properly. I've got little notes about things. For me, this is a really good kind of tactile and visual reminder of what I've done. And it also has wonderful, wonderful pockets in that I just slip kind of care receipts in for yarns that I've bought, receipts, little scraps and odds and ends and kind of care bits that I haven't done anything with yet. So they just kind of, they sneak away in the back, and it just helps keep me organised. And this is just a craft journal from Paperchase. But it's really, really useful, so I thought I would show that to you. The last bit of business for this episode, so the last thing I'd like to talk to you about is I am going to host a knit-along. First ever knit-along that I will have hosted, and it is called the Keep Calm and Knit Along. It is Queen Elizabeth II's 90th birthday this year. On the 21st of April, she will be 90 years old. The 21st of April is her actual birthday. The 14th of June is her official birthday. The knit along will run from the 21st of April to the 14th of June, and here are the guidelines for it. Knit or crochet something out of either British fibre, yarn from a British dyer, or a pattern from a British designer, or a combination of all three. There's going to be a chatter thread, there are going to be prizes from the chatter thread, and there are going to be prizes for the finished object threads. Now, the prizes, I don't quite know exactly what they're going to be, but they are going to be British themed, going to be celebrating all things British in honour of our Queen. She is Britain's longest reigning monarch ever, and I believe she is the world's longest reigning queen ever. I think it's great that our Queen is 90 years old, still going strong, and I want to celebrate her 90th birthday by celebrating all things British. So I am going to set myself the challenge of only knitting with British fibre, at least for the period of the knit along, if not for longer. I have designed a little badge for it, which I'm going to pop up on Instagram. I've opened up the chatter thread already on Ravelry. Please do come along and join. And yeah, let's see how this goes. First ever knit along. Don't know how it will go. You can knit along, crochet along, whatever takes your fancy. And I look forward to seeing what projects everyone comes up with. So thank you very much for tuning in for this episode. I'll see you again in a couple of weeks' time, and I hope you have a wonderful time. Cheers. Bye.